Welcome to the Imaginal door. Before we begin, settle in, and remember this: imagination is not idle daydreaming, it is the workshop where your life is quietly made. Let's step inside. The person you miss is not the door is the self you become when love is already home. That is the first cut. Gentle, but sharp. Most people approach reunion as if the other person is holding the missing key. They wait for a message. They study tone. They replay the last conversation like a detective kneeling over broken glass. But Neville's teaching turns the whole search inward. You do not begin with them. You begin with the state you are occupying. The world does not ask what you want. It asks who you are being. And if you are being the abandoned one, the forgotten one, the one hoping to be selected again, then even your most beautiful imaginal scene is quietly built on lack. The inner principle is simple, and it is severe enough to wake you up. You do not attract what you want as a distant object. You express the state you have accepted as yourself. Reunion, in Neville's language, is not a spell cast over another person. It is a movement in consciousness. You move out of the state called, I was left, and into the state called, I am loved, chosen, and peacefully met. The other person is not your project. Your self-concept is. Here is what no one tells you about the wish that will not come. Often, the desire is not delayed because you failed to affirm enough. It is delayed because you keep returning to the identity that needs the desire to rescue it. You say you want love, but inwardly you keep rehearsing the one who was not loved correctly. You check your phone from that self. You fall asleep as that self. You imagine a reunion and then wake up to ask whether you are still unwanted. That is not failure. It is unconscious loyalty. Mara learned this in a small apartment above a bakery in Lisbon. Every night she imagined her former partner, Adrian, texting her. She saw the screen light up. She heard the notification. But she always opened her eyes with the same ache. Why has he not chosen me yet? One evening, she stopped imagining the message and imagined something quieter. Sunday morning. 2 cups on the kitchen table. Adrian reading the back of a coffee bag while she stood near the open window, feeling no shock, no panic, no triumph. Just the ordinary warmth of being someone whose love had found its way into peace. That was the shift. Not the scene alone. The self inside the scene. So build your imaginal act from the inside outward. Do not begin with their face. Begin with your nervous system at rest. Let your shoulders drop. Let your breath become slower than the old story. Enter the drowsy state Neville praised, the borderland before sleep, where the mind is soft and the outer world has lost its authority. Then place yourself in a scene that could only be true if reunion were already natural. Not a dramatic apology. Not tears on the doorstep. Choose something after the storm. A hand resting easily over yours at a quiet table. Their jacket hanging beside yours. A small laugh over something only the two of you understand. Feel the relationship not as a prize, but as atmosphere. Let it be normal. Let it be familiar. Let the self in that scene become more real than the self who is waiting outside it. Ask yourself this with honesty. Who would you be tonight if this love were no longer an emergency? Most manifestation advice says to intensify the desire. Neville points elsewhere. The secret is not emotional volume. It is occupation. A state is occupied when it feels like where you live, not what you visit when you are desperate. Before you sleep tonight, do not perform a ritual to get them back. Enter the state of the one who is already loved well. Lie still. Let the body grow heavy. Bring one brief scene into awareness, you waking in the morning with a calm certainty that the connection is safe. Hear no announcement. Seek no sign. Simply feel. Of course I am loved. Of course this is peaceful now. then sleep from that atmosphere. The myth is that reunion begins when they change. The law says it begins when you stop being the self who needs them to change before you can feel chosen. To reunite, stop being the abandoned witness and become the loved fact. Once the self is chosen, the next work is learning which inner voice that chosen self hears. You are not waiting for a message, you are practicing the ear that would already know how to receive one. This is where many sincere students misunderstand inner conversations. They think the work is to mentally persuade the other person. They repeat their name. They imagine them apologizing with perfect wording. They try to win an invisible debate in the private courtroom of the mind. But Neville's teaching was never about mental coercion. Inner speech is creative because it reveals the state you are living from. The conversations you carry inwardly are not neutral. They are your daily prayer. They tell consciousness what is real to you. If, all day, you hear them cold, distant, evasive, confused, or superior, you are not merely remembering. You are accepting a relationship state. You are giving the old arrangement a fresh pulse. The deeper principle is this: every relationship has an inner sound before it has an outer expression. You live with people inwardly long before you meet them outwardly. If the inner version of the person you love is always withholding, then you are still occupying the self who must convince love to soften. In Neville's language, you have not accepted the end. You are still arguing from the middle. I have watched this turn quietly, again and again. Not by forcing a call. Not by scripting another person into obedience. But by changing the listener. Daniel lived in Toronto and took the same streetcar home after work every evening. His former partner, Naomi, had told him, "I just do not feel close to you anymore." For weeks he heard that line in his head. It followed him past storefront windows, into his shower, into bed. Then one rainy evening, instead of fighting the memory, he asked, "What would I naturally hear if closeness were restored?" The answer was not theatrical. It was Naomi's voice, gentle and amused, saying, "I miss how easy it feels when we talk." He did not loop it like a machine. He heard it once, then again with feeling. He let the voice be ordinary, human, imperfect. He let himself be the man who could receive warmth without bracing for loss. That is the imaginal discipline. Do not create a speech designed to repair your insecurity. Create a conversation that implies the insecurity is already gone. Choose one line that would be natural after reunion, not before it. Keep it short enough to be believable. The mind accepts what feels lived. A sentence such as, "I am glad we found our way back to ease." Or, "It feels peaceful between us now." Or, "I love how safe this feels again." Then hear it in their voice while you are drowsy, not tense. Neville often emphasized the state akin to sleep because it reduces resistance. At night, when the outer senses loosen their grip, inner speech can sink beneath effort. Hear the line as if you are remembering a real moment. Let your body respond before your intellect comments. Let relief come first. The reason you may stay stuck is that your inner dialogue still has you defending yourself. You explain. You justify. You rehearse what they should understand. But the fulfilled state does not defend. It communes. It receives. It is not trying to be heard because it already belongs in the conversation. What sentence have you been hearing from them most often in your private world? Not the sentence you claim to want. The sentence you secretly expect. That sentence is a seed. Most advice tells you to watch the outer conversation for clues. Neville's method asks you to revise the inner climate from which all outer conversations are interpreted. A message can arrive and still be read from fear. A silence can appear and still be held from fulfillment. The decisive fact is the state of the listener. Before you sleep tonight, let the room become quiet. Place the phone away from your hand. Close your eyes and imagine a very simple scene. You are sitting beside a window at dawn, holding a warm cup, and you hear their voice say one peaceful sentence. Do not answer with need. Answer as the one who is already loved. Maybe you smile. Maybe you breathe out. Maybe you say, I know. It feels good now. Then stop. Let the feeling echo. Sleep with that conversation completed. Do not use inner speech to chase love. Use it to become the one to whom love speaks naturally. When the inner voice is peaceful, the next temptation is to demand the road by which peace must arrive. The middle is where most people accidentally cancel the end. They imagine reunion for 10 minutes, then spend 10 hours inspecting the path. Who will text first? What they are thinking. Whether enough time has passed. Whether the silence means healing or indifference. Whether a mutual friend knows something. The mind becomes a nervous architect, trying to design every hallway between now and the fulfilled desire. Neville called attention away from the middle. His emphasis was the end. The completed state. The imaginal fact that implies the whole thing has already arranged itself. In his teaching, the bridge of incidents is not manufactured by anxious control. It unfolds from the assumption accepted as true. This is not passivity. It is precision. The inner principle is that consciousness does not need you to micromanage causation. Once an imaginal act is accepted as real, events can move through channels the outer mind could not have invented. The problem is that the frightened self wants proof of the route because it has not accepted the destination. So it tries to supervise life. It asks for signs. It reads delays as verdicts. It mistakes analysis for faith. Here is the counterintuitive part. Obsessing over how reunion could happen often proves that, inwardly, you still believe it has not. The end has no need to interrogate the bridge. The one who is already at home does not keep measuring the road. Lena, in Chicago, discovered this in a laundromat on a Wednesday morning. She had been imagining her former partner, Theo, sending her a long message. Every time her phone buzzed, her body tightened. Every quiet hour became evidence against her. Then she changed the scene. Not the first contact. Not the apology. She imagined walking into a small neighborhood cinema with Theo on a cold evening months after everything had softened. He held 2 tickets. She adjusted her scarf. He leaned in and said, "We are early. Want popcorn?" It was almost boring. And that was why it worked inwardly. The scene did not explain how they got there. It implied they had. It did not force his behavior. It placed Lena in the state of a woman for whom closeness was already restored. The middle was absent, and because it was absent, the mind could not keep bargaining with it. So enter your scene like this. Choose an event that could only happen after reconciliation is already established. It might be folding laundry together on a quiet Sunday. It might be sitting side by side at a small restaurant where the waiter assumes you are together. It might be hearing them say, "We should take that trip after all," with no drama in the air. Do not choose a scene that still has you trying to get chosen. Choose one that requires you to already be chosen. Then compress it. Neville often taught that a short scene, repeated until it takes on sensory vividness, is stronger than a wandering fantasy. Feel the chair beneath you. Hear the ordinary sound in the room. Let one gesture imply the fulfilled relationship. A hand at your back as you cross the street. Their key beside yours on the table. A shared calendar on the wall. Your task is not to tell life how. Your task is to inhabit the felt truth that it is done. Why do you return to the middle? Usually because the old self believes uncertainty is safer than surrender. It would rather suffer with control than rest in unseen fulfillment. It thinks that by checking, it is protecting you from disappointment. but checking often keeps disappointment enthroned as the expected outcome. Ask yourself, are you imagining the end, or are you imagining a strategy that still needs the end to come later? Most manifestation advice says to take inspired action immediately. In Neville's work, the deeper movement begins before any outer action. The action that comes from the fulfilled state feels clean. The action that comes from panic feels like begging wearing a better outfit. Before you sleep tonight, select one end scene and remove every trace of the middle. No first text. No explanation. No confrontation. Begin after peace has already been accepted. See one ordinary image. Hear one ordinary sentence. Feel the unmistakable inner posture of, "This is my life now." If the mind asks how, answer with silence. Return to the scene. Occupy the end and let the road be born without your supervision. Once the road is released, the next refinement is learning why a quiet feeling may be more powerful than a dramatic one. Intensity is not proof, naturalness is. This one overturns a great deal of modern manifestation noise. Many people believe the right imaginal act must feel electric. They expect tears, chills, a wave of certainty so dramatic that doubt can never return. When that does not happen, they assume the scene failed. Neville placed great weight on naturalness. The feeling that makes an assumption harden into fact is not always emotional fireworks. Often it is a quiet, settled, almost plain sense that this is simply how things are. The fulfilled state may feel less like victory and more like home. That matters deeply when your theme is reunion. If you imagine the person you love from the state of hunger, the scene may be intense but unstable. You may feel a rush because the desire is still outside you. But if you imagine from the state of possession, the emotional weather changes. You are not grabbing. You are inhabiting. The scene becomes ordinary because your identity has stopped treating love as unbelievable. This is the inner principle. What feels natural to you is what your consciousness can wear without strain. The aim is not to impress yourself with a grand romantic vision. The aim is to normalize being loved. The old state keeps you stuck by making love feel exceptional. Too good. Too fragile. Too dependent on perfect timing. It says, if this happens, I will finally be safe. That hidden pedestal turns the desire into a miracle you keep yourself separate from. Neville's method asks you to step down from the pedestal and enter the room. Sophia lived in Manchester, in a narrow flat where rain tapped the kitchen window most mornings. She had been trying to imagine a dramatic reunion with her former partner, Ellis, at a train station. Every version felt cinematic, and every version left her exhausted. One night she changed it. She imagined unlocking her front door at dawn and seeing Ellis's keys already in the small ceramic bowl by the entrance. She heard the kettle click off. From the other room, he called, "Did you get oat milk?" No violence, no speech, no grand confession. Just the ordinary evidence of shared life. That scene softened something in her. She could feel herself as a woman for whom togetherness did not require astonishment. I like scenes like this because they reveal whether you are truly accepting the wish or still worshipping it from a distance. So build your technique around natural details. Choose a scene so simple that the mind has no stage on which to perform desperation. The person you love passing you a towel after washing dishes. Their book on your nightstand. A half-finished grocery list in familiar handwriting. A quiet, "See you later," said with the ease of continuity. Enter the state akin to sleep and lower the drama. Let the image become domestic, human, breathable. Feel the texture of the towel. Hear the kettle, the rain, the floorboard. Let the body say, "Yes, this is normal." If you catch yourself trying to produce a peak emotion, relax the effort. The fulfilled relationship does not need to convince itself every 5 seconds. Why do you resist ordinary feeling? Because part of you equates calm with absence. You think that if you are not intensely emotional, you are losing the desire. But calm may be the very sign that you have stopped placing the desire outside yourself. Hunger is loud. Possession is often quiet. Would your fulfilled relationship feel miraculous every hour, or would it become the natural background of your life? That question can purify the scene. Most advice tells you to make the visualization bigger. Neville's logic often makes it smaller. Smaller, but more real. A short, natural act accepted as fact can do more inwardly than a magnificent fantasy you secretly do not believe. Before you sleep tonight, take the reunion scene you have been using and remove the performance. Remove the tears if they feel forced. Remove the long speech if it keeps you waiting. Remove the need for a perfect apology if it keeps you frozen in injury. Keep one ordinary moment that implies peace. Then loop it gently until it feels like memory. Not future. Memory. Fall asleep as the one for whom being loved is not shocking. What feels natural stops needing permission. When love becomes ordinary within, you can stop dragging yesterday's wound into tomorrow's room. Forgiveness is not saying it was fine, it is refusing to keep being the self it made. This is delicate territory. When someone you love has hurt you, ignored you, misunderstood you, or left without tenderness, the mind often clings to the wound as evidence. It says, "I cannot let this go, because then it will mean it did not matter." But Neville's view of forgiveness is not moral weakness. It is a change in consciousness. It is the refusal to keep one scene enthroned as the permanent definition of self. You are not asked to deny your humanity. You are not asked to call pain beautiful. You are asked to stop making pain your name. The inner principle here is that consciousness continually resurrects the identity it consents to be. If you continue to live as the one who was discarded, betrayed, or made small, the old relationship state remains active within you. Even if the person returns, the state may return with them. The reunion you want is not merely physical proximity. It is a new state of being in which the old wound no longer governs perception. This is why chasing an apology rarely heals the deeper problem. The apology may come, and still you may feel unsafe if you have not moved out of the wounded role. The outer sentence cannot do the inner work for you. Jonah learned this after a painful breakup in Denver. His former partner, Celeste, had left a birthday dinner early after an argument, and the image of the empty chair across from him became his private altar of humiliation. He imagined her coming back, but every scene ended with him making her understand how much she had hurt him. Inwardly, he was still at the restaurant, still watching the door, still needing the past to bow. One evening, while walking through a quiet art museum, he saw a painting of a table set for two near a bright window. Something in him stopped. That night he imagined not the old dinner, not the apology, but a later moment, Celeste sitting across from him in a sunlit cafe, both of them calm, and Jonah feeling no need to punish her with memory. He heard himself say, "We are different now." The words were not for her alone. They were for the self he had been carrying. This is the technique. Bring to mind the relationship wound only long enough to identify the role it assigned you. Did it make you the abandoned one? The fool? The second choice? The one who loved too much? Do not keep analyzing the event. Name the role. Then enter a short imaginal scene where that role is absent. See yourself meeting them from dignity. Hear your own voice steady. Feel your body free of the old flinch. The scene does not need to erase history like a legal record. It needs to move you into a state where history is no longer your master. Neville's deeper forgiveness is a liberation of identity. You forgive by ceasing to behold yourself and the other through the old assumption. Why do you stay stuck? because resentment can feel like control. It gives the hurt self a throne. It says, "As long as I remember this sharply, I am protected." But often the opposite is happening. You are not protected. You are bound. The pain is still choosing your state. What version of you was born from the moment you keep replaying? Look at that version with compassion. Then let it retire. Most advice says forgiveness is something you give the other person. In this work, forgiveness is something you reclaim from the old state. It is not permission for mistreatment. It is the end of inner captivity. Before sleep tonight, choose one sentence that releases the wounded role. Not a sugary sentence. A clean one. I am no longer the one that moment defined. Let it sink into the body. Then imagine one peaceful encounter where you feel whole in their presence. Perhaps you pass them a cup. Perhaps you walk beside them near water. Perhaps you hear them speak and notice that you are not bracing. Feel the freedom more than the event. You cannot enter a new union while worshiping the old injury. When the wound is no longer your identity, desire can finally reveal what it has been asking you to become. The desire is not begging you to chase someone, it is inviting you to outgrow the self who feels separate. This is a necessary correction. Many people become ashamed of wanting reunion. They ask whether it is spiritual enough, detached enough, logical enough, dignified enough. They try to kill the desire and call it freedom. But Neville did not teach desire as an enemy. Desire, rightly understood, is the pressure of a fulfilled state seeking expression through you. The problem is not that you want. The problem is that you have mistaken wanting for lack. At the inner level, desire is a summons. It points to a version of you that already exists in consciousness. A version who is loved without begging. A version who is trusted. A version who can stand in relationship without fear of being erased. The person you love may be the visible symbol, but the state is the real invitation. The old assumption keeps you stuck by putting the desire on trial. You ask, should I still want them? Is it wrong? What if I am attached? And while you hold court over the desire, you never enter the fulfilled state it is offering. You remain divided. Half of you longing, half of you shaming the longing. Here is the myth bust. Detachment is not pretending not to care. That is often just fear in a clean white coat. Real detachment comes after acceptance, not denial. You accept the desire inwardly as yours, then release the desperate need to make the outer world confirm it this minute. Priya understood this on the ferry in Sydney, crossing the harbor after a long workday. She still loved Arun, though her friends had told her to move on, with the kind of certainty people use when they are tired of another person's pain. Priya tried to be above it. She deleted photos, repeated that she did not care, and felt worse. Then she asked a Neville-like question. What quality of myself is this desire asking me to inhabit? The answer was not, Arun must call. The answer was, I am a woman who is easy to love consistently. That became the Imaginal center. She stopped building scenes from panic and began entering a state of steady belovedness. She imagined walking beside Arun at dawn near the water, but the key feeling was not possession of him. It was her own inner ease. She felt chosen without performing, present without gripping, tender without collapsing. So practice this with your own desire. Do not ask the desire whether it is allowed. Ask what identity it contains. Does it ask you to become secure? Cherished? Relaxed in intimacy? Honest without fear? Soft without abandoning yourself? The desire is like a sealed letter from the fulfilled self. Open it. Then create a scene that implies that identity. Keep the other person in the scene if that feels natural, but do not make their behavior the source of your worth. Let the scene reveal who you are. Perhaps you are walking beside them and your body feels calm. Perhaps you receive their affection and do not search for hidden withdrawal. Perhaps you say what you mean and expect warmth. In the drowsy state before sleep, let the desire become a name you accept. I am the one who is loved steadily, not as a chant to overpower doubt. As a fact you are trying on until it fits. Feel how your face would soften. Feel how your chest would open. Feel how you would stop scanning the room for rejection. Why do you keep circling the desire instead of entering it? Because part of you believes wanting makes you weak. But in Neville's world, desire is not weakness. It is a divine disturbance, a holy dissatisfaction with the old state. It is the new self knocking. What would this desire make of you if you stopped using it to measure absence? Before you sleep tonight, speak inwardly to the desire as if it has come to guide you, not torment you. Let yourself admit calmly, I want this because a part of me knows a greater state of love. Then enter one brief scene where that greater state is already embodied. Feel the identity more than the outcome. Sleep as the one the desire was naming all along. Desire is a doorway into identity, not a command to chase a person. Once desire is accepted without shame, you must stop giving outside causes the power that belongs to consciousness. The text, the timing, the silence, the friends, the algorithm, the old story, none of these are the power. This is the pearl of great price applied to love. Neville taught that the pearl is purchased by selling everything else. Not with money, with belief. You give up the conviction that outside causes are final. You stop making circumstances into gods. In relationship work, this is where people quietly lose themselves. They say consciousness is cause, but then they bow to the calendar. They bow to the fact that it has been 3 months. They bow to a mutual friend's comment. They bow to social media. They bow to whether the person watched a story, liked a photo, or changed a profile picture. They bow to dating rules, attachment labels, astrology, old messages, and the tone of the last goodbye. Then they wonder why the imaginal act feels weak. It feels weak because consciousness has competition. The inner principle is uncompromising. There is one creative cause, and that cause is consciousness. This does not mean the outer world is fake in a childish sense. It means the outer world has no independent authority to define the end. The state you occupy is primary. Everything else is a shadow, a symbol, a temporary formation. The old assumption keeps you stuck by making the world a courtroom. You gather evidence for and against the desire. You check whether conditions look favorable. You treat the person's current behavior as the final word. But if the outer fact is your lord, imagination becomes decoration. Neville's work asks for a deeper loyalty than that. Marcus lived in Brooklyn and had turned his longing into research. He knew every no-contact strategy, every dating coach phrase, every theory about avoidant partners. He checked his former partner Nina's social media with the precision of a financial analyst. When she posted a photograph at a restaurant, he lost his state for 2 days. Then he heard a Neville lecture about the pearl and wrote one sentence on a card. I will not make an idol of appearances. That night his imaginal act changed. He sat in a chair, let the body grow heavy, and imagined placing every so-called cause into a small wooden box. Time, silence, friends, past words, screenshots, advice. Then he closed the box and saw, in his chest, a small pearl of light. The feeling was not aggressive. It was clean. Consciousness is cause. From there he imagined Nina beside him on a dawn walk by the river, their conversation easy and current. No explanation of how. No argument with the past. That is the technique. Before you build the relationship scene, remove the rival gods. Not angrily. Firmly. Notice what you have been treating as more powerful than your assumption. the last message, the distance, the breakup date, their personality, your age, their friends, your mistakes, their silence. Then inwardly sell each one. Let it lose authority. You are not denying that these things appeared. You are denying that they are creative cause. Most advice tells you to study circumstances so you can work with them. Neville points to a more radical discipline. Stop granting circumstances the power to bless or block the end. A circumstance can be present and still not be sovereign. Ask yourself plainly, what have I made more real than my fulfilled assumption? That question may sting. Let it. Then move into the drowsy state and feel the relief of one cause. Not 10. Not 20. 1. Imagine holding a pearl of soft light in your palm. Let it stand for the law within you. Then drop into your chosen end scene. Maybe you and the person you love are sitting on a bench by the sea at sunrise. Maybe they turn to you with ease. Maybe you feel their presence as natural. Let the scene rest on one foundation only, consciousness accepted as reality. Before sleep tonight, name the strongest second cause you have been serving. Say inwardly, "You are not my God." Then feel the body settle. Let your imaginal scene arise from a clean field. No bargaining with time. No checking against history. No asking the old world for permission. You regain power when nothing outside you is allowed to be God. With the false gods dismissed, the next discipline is rest. The Sabbath is not waiting, it is the silence after the inner work is accepted. This is one of Neville's most misunderstood ideas. People hear rest and think it means giving up. They imagine a dull resignation, a spiritual shrug, a forced smile over disappointment. But the Sabbath is not defeat. It is the state that comes after the imaginal act has been accepted so deeply that effort becomes unnatural. You do not keep digging up a seed to see whether it believed you. In the context of reunion, the Sabbath is crucial because longing can turn techniques into labor. You imagine at night, then wake up and ask if it worked. You repeat the scene, not from joy, but from fear that yesterday's scene expired. You affirm, then check. You feel calm, then panic because calm feels too quiet. The old self uses spiritual practice as a lever against absence. But Neville's Sabbath is the end of inner pleading. The principle beneath it is that true acceptance has a flavor of completion. Once consciousness has entered the fulfilled state, there is a natural cessation of struggle. You may return to the feeling, yes, but not to get. You return as one revisits a home, not as one knocks at a locked gate. The stuckness comes from confusing persistence with pressure. Many people persist in the old state while repeating words from the new one. They perform the scene with clenched inner hands. They are not resting in the relationship fulfilled. They are trying to make the scene cause the relationship because they still feel separate from it. Elise lived in Portland, where the rain made every evening feel like memory. She loved Martin, but her practice had become exhausting. She imagined him holding her hand before sleep, then repeated the scene 20 times during the day whenever fear rose. If she missed a session, she felt guilty, as if love would drift away. One night, after a particularly tired attempt, she whispered, "I am using the law like a beggar." That recognition changed her. She chose one scene, Martin standing in her kitchen at dawn, sleeves rolled, washing a cup while she leaned against the counter. He looked over and said, "Come here." Nothing more. She entered the scene in the state akin to sleep until she felt the warmth of his body and the simplicity of belonging. Then she stopped. The next day, whenever panic asked for more effort, she returned only to the quiet fact. It is accepted. No performance. No bargaining. That is the technique of Sabbath. You do the imaginal act with tenderness and precision. You repeat it only until it feels real enough to rest in. Then you let the state breathe. You allow your day to be shaped by completion rather than hunger. You do not keep asking whether the unseen has heard you. The Sabbath assumes it has. Most advice says more repetition means more power. Not always. Repetition from lack can train lack. Repetition from fulfillment can deepen fulfillment. The difference is the self who repeats. Are you repeating because you are home, or because you are afraid the home is not yours? Before you sleep tonight, choose your end scene and give it your full inner consent. Let the body grow heavy. Let the world fade. Enter the scene until it has sensory weight. Hear the cup in the sink. Feel the floor under your feet. Feel the other person's nearness as natural. Then, when the feeling of completion arrives, even faintly, do not add strain. Let the scene close like a door softly clicking shut. After that, rest. If fear rises, do not start the whole trial again. Place your attention gently on the accepted fact. This is already mine in consciousness. Then do something ordinary from the state of being loved. Make tea. Fold a blanket. Wash your face slowly. Let the body learn that fulfillment does not panic. This is a subtle point, and I do not want you to miss it. Sabbath is not laziness. It is fidelity without strain. It is the refusal to insult the imaginal act by treating it as incomplete every time the senses are quiet. What would your day look like if you no longer had to earn the love you have accepted within? Begin there. Rest is the posture of the one who has accepted the gift. And rest, properly understood, changes the way you carry your own name. You cannot keep calling yourself hard to love and expect love to feel like home. This lesson is quiet, but it cuts deep. Beneath many reunion desires is a secret name. Not the name on your passport. The name you have given yourself after disappointment. Too much. Not enough. Easy to leave. Difficult to choose. The one who gets almost loved. The one people remember too late. Neville's teaching on identity is not mere confidence talk. What you attach to, I am, becomes your dwelling place. The self is always being named inwardly. Every private conclusion you make about yourself becomes a garment consciousness wears. And the world, being reflective, meets that garment again and again. When the theme is reuniting with someone you love, this matters more than most people admit. You may be imagining a tender end, but if your private name is still the one they left, the scene has a split foundation. Part of you enters fulfillment. Part of you keeps wearing rejection like a legal identity. The inner principle is that your name, inwardly felt, organizes experience. To be chosen by love, you must stop identifying as the one love struggles to choose. This is not arrogance. It is alignment. A person who inwardly feels lovable does not need to perform lovability. A person who inwardly feels secure does not make every silence into a prophecy. Helena lived in Prague and used to walk past the same tram stop where she had last seen Tomas. The place had become a small shrine to absence. Whenever she heard her own name in memory, it was in his tired voice from that final conversation. "Helena, I cannot do this." She thought the pain was about Tomas. But the deeper wound was what her name had come to mean when she said it to herself. One dawn, standing near the river, she tried something simple. She closed her eyes and heard her name spoken from fulfillment. Not dramatically, tenderly. Helena. That was all. In the voice, there was welcome. No impatience. No pity. No exhaustion. She let the sound of her own name become safe again. That was the imaginal act. You can practice this with precision. Enter the drowsy state before sleep. Let your body become heavy and receptive. Then hear your name spoken by someone who loves you with ease. It may be the person you want to reunite with, or it may be a voice that simply represents love. Do not rush into a long scene. Stay with the name. Let it be said in a tone that implies you are cherished, expected, and welcome. Notice what rises. Some part of you may resist. It may say, "They do not say my name like that." That is the old state defending its title. Do not argue. Simply hear it again from the fulfilled state. Your name is not a wound. Your name is not a burden. Your name can mean beloved. Why do people stay stuck here? Because they try to change the relationship while keeping the rejected self intact. They want the other person to prove a new identity to them. But Neville's discipline asks you to assume the identity first. The proof follows the state. It does not create it. What have you silently made your name mean since this separation? Do not answer quickly. Feel it. Most advice says self-concept is about becoming impressive, magnetic, untouchable. That is another costume if it is built from fear. The Neville approach is subtler. It is not ego inflation. It is inner consent to the truth of being loved. You are not trying to become superior. You are becoming assumptive. You are accepting a new fact of self. Before sleep tonight, hear your name 3 or 4 times from the state of fulfillment. Let each repetition become more natural. Then add one small gesture. Perhaps they reach for your hand as they say it. Perhaps you look up and smile because the tone is so familiar. Perhaps you simply feel your chest release. Do not force belief. Give the new name a place to land. During the day, catch the old labels. When the mind says, "I am the one they left," do not wrestle. Replace the identity, not with noise, but with authority. "I am the one love recognizes." Then move as if that were the quieter truth. The world answers the name you secretly give yourself. Now the final test is whether the fulfilled state can survive ordinary daylight. The relationship does not begin when they appear. It begins when your ordinary hours obey the fulfilled state. This is where the work leaves the pillow and enters the day. Many people do an imaginal act at night, touch something real for a few minutes, then wake up and return to the old life exactly as before. Same phone checking. Same inner collapse. Same conversations with friends about how nothing has changed. Same self-pity disguised as realism. Then they say the method did not work. But Neville's teaching was never meant to be a private fantasy sealed off from waking life. The imaginal act establishes the state. The day reveals whether you continue in it. Not through forced action. Not through chasing. Through identity expressed in the small rooms of ordinary living. The inner principle is that every state has behavior, posture, perception, and tone. If you are in the state of being loved, you will still have human feelings, but you will not live like a person on trial. You will not make the phone your judge. You will not ask every hour to bless or condemn you. You will carry yourself as one whose inner fact is settled. This is not pretending the outer world has already changed. It is refusing to let the outer world dictate who you are being while it catches up. The old assumption keeps you stuck by splitting practice from life. You imagine reunion, then spend the day acting like absence is sovereign. You meditate as the fulfilled one, then eat dinner as the abandoned one. You hear their loving voice inwardly, then tell your friend, "They probably forgot me." That contradiction is not a moral failure. It is simply a state not yet stabilized. Omar lived in Auckland and had been imagining reconciliation with Mara every night. His scenes were vivid, but his days were a shrine to waiting. He checked her profile at breakfast, at lunch, before bed. His apartment slowly began to look like his inner state, laundry piled on a chair, old cups near the desk, curtains closed. One morning, after an imaginal scene in which Mara stood beside him in a sunlit kitchen, he looked around and thought, Would the man in that scene live like this? Not as shame, as instruction. He opened the curtains. He cleaned the kitchen. He bought fresh oranges from a corner shop and placed them in a bowl. He cooked dinner without staring at his phone. None of this was done to lure Mara. It was done because the fulfilled state had standards. It had atmosphere. It had a body. That is the technique for waking life. After your nightly imaginal act, choose one ordinary behavior that belongs to the state fulfilled. Not an action aimed at the other person. An action that confirms who you are now. Put the phone in another room while you eat. Make your bed as someone whose life is not on hold. Walk outside without rehearsing rejection. Speak to a stranger with ease. Answer messages without performing desperation. Let your home, your body, and your schedule receive the new assumption. Most advice calls this inspired action and then turns it into strategy. Neville's work is cleaner. You are not acting to make something happen. You are acting because, inwardly, something has happened. The difference can be felt. Strategy leans forward. State stands upright. Ask yourself during the day, would the loved version of me do this from peace, or would the waiting version do this from fear? That question alone can change a day. Before sleep tonight, do your chosen seeing. Keep it short. Feel it real. Let it close into rest. Then decide on one small expression for tomorrow morning. Maybe you will wake and not check your phone for the first 30 minutes. Maybe you will make coffee slowly, as someone whose life is inhabited. Maybe you will clear one corner of your room and let it become a physical symbol of inner order. Maybe you will walk by water and practice being met by life. Do not make the act theatrical. Make it honest. I have seen the deepest changes begin this way, not with spectacle, but with a person no longer living as if love were absent from their own being. The outer story may still be arranging itself, but the inner government has changed. That is where Neville's work has teeth. It does not flatter your longing. It trains your identity. The myth is that you must wait for reunion to become whole. The law asks you to become whole, and then let reunion belong to that wholeness. The fulfilled state must have a life before it has evidence. And when this hour ends, that life begins in the next quiet choice. That's all for now. Thank you for spending this hour with the Imaginal Door. Subscribe, return often, and remain faithful to the life you are quietly assuming.